This week's parshas is Parshas Vayera. Parshas Vayera begins the progress of the Jewish people towards leaving Egypt, leaving the bondage. Of course, the main attraction of that redemption was the 10 plagues. What's interesting to note is that the exodus from Egypt is called in Hebrew Yitzias Mitzrayim. And the way you normally translate that in English is the exodus from Egypt, right? Leaving Egypt, leaving the land of Egypt, the geographic boundaries of Egypt. But in truth, the proper grammar in Hebrew, if it were to be conveying that idea, would be Yitzia mi Mitzrayim, Yitzias mi Mitzrayim, leaving from Egypt. Yitzias Mitzrayim sounds different. Yitzias Mitzrayim is leaving of Egypt. This concept is a very important concept because when we think about the subjugation in the land of Egypt, the Jewish people being slaves, we think about the physical labor involved, the pain, the suffering, which of course happened and was very terrible. But even more terrible than that was the Jewish people's state of mind. What the constant and grueling and degrading slavery did to the Jewish mind. And that's the Yetziat Mitzrayim, the exodus of Egypt, meaning that the Egyptian mindset, the Jewish people's Egyptian mindset, how they felt, how they thought of themselves, was something that needed to be eradicated. And that was the redemption within the redemption. And that is of the four languages that are used to describe the exodus from Egypt, the one that represents this idea the most is Vaytzeisi escha mitachas sivlois Mitzrayim, that I will take you out from the hardships of Mitzrayim, of Egypt, meaning that the Jewish people had undergone a change in their 210 years of subjugation, that the Jewish psyche had changed entirely, and that was the hardest thing to eradicate. And it's an important concept for us to realize that the slavery in Egypt was not only an issue because it caused the Jewish people a lot of pain and suffering, which of course is terrible, but even more than that, what was so hard to get rid of was the sivlois Mitzrayim, the hardship they had undergone, what it had done to their psyche. And that is what we mean by Yitzias Mitzrayim. The first three of the plagues, it doesn't say anything about the separation of the Jewish people from the Egyptians, meaning that in the fourth plague, it says that Hashem separated between the Jewish people and the Egyptians, meaning that Hashem did not inflict the plague on the Jewish people. The question is that why did it wait till the fourth plague to say this, to say that the Jewish people were not inflicted with any of the suffering, with any of the effects of the plague? Would we assume that the first three plagues also, Dam, Svardea, and Kinim, blood, frogs, lice, also were not inflicted on the Jewish people? Why would it only say about the fourth plague? Would this indicate to us that the Jewish people also were afflicted by the first three plagues? Have a good Shabbos.